Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Mobafire Challenger Series, or welcome back, rather, I should say. We are into our final game of the night. It's going to be Aware Gaming taking on Team Tempest, and a little bit of a battle of, some slightly disappointing performances. Aware Gaming came out very strong at the beginning of the season, but have kind of struggled since then. And then Team Tempest have, I don't know, they really haven't quite found their stride just yet, sitting there at the very bottom of the standings at 0-5, going up against the 2-3 Aware Gaming. We're looking for Tempest to kind of bring things back. We do see their lineup here. It's going to be Quir, Anxiety Lol. You guys might have known him from seeing him at the there's a spring split or summer split qualifiers. He was on Team Astral Poke, I believe. Baby Zeus, you guys know him for being the very first Challenger tier player in North America. Spiteful Spectre, and rounding things off with Division.
Yep, and then on the side of Aware Gaming, formerly Salad Bar, we have Hiroshin, Ghost Zero, eHamda, XX RZ Slash. And as the bans were finished rather quick, we have Ezreal, Nunu, and Orianna from the side of Aware, while on the side of Team Tempest, we have Renekton, Elise, and Twisted Fate. And Hiroshin going to instantly go for that Thresh pick to go to RZ Slash.
Now, that's something interesting to notice. We did have, we do have Baby Zeus in this team, another amazing Akali player, and actually another Akali main. Hasn't actually been playing a lot of that recently. He's been spamming Ezreal games, so it's going to be why we see that's a little bit of a ban out there. The other interesting thing to notice is that Spiteful Spectre, also an incredible support player, will be playing AD carry here, as well as Division, who's probably going to be running that support. Because that's what he has actually been playing a lot of recently. The picks, although coming out hot and heavy, it will be 80 carries picked away. We're going to see a very standard lineup here for Aware Gaming, and if you guys are aware of Aware, they don't actually deviate from their strategy all that much. We're going to see, I'd love to see a Xerath or Lux pick here from eHamda. It's either going to be Xerath, Lux, or, well, it would have been Orianna, but actually that has been banned away. So I'm surprised we don't see a Xin Zhao pick already for Ghost Zero. He loves going to Xin Zhao or Jarvan the fourth, and either one of those would be great, as is just going with that bottom lane and probably a top. Spiteful Spectre and locking in the Aatrox for Anxiety. Kind of an interesting pick so late on.
Yeah, gonna completely give away that they might run jungle or top Aatrox. We see the Udyr coming in, could go to Anxiety Lol, could go to, how do you say his name, Quir? Cur?
Yeah, I always just say Quir because the Nordic pronunciation of the W in the middle going to be Quir.
Okay, so Quir, I don't know much of him. He could play Udyr in the jungle. He could play that Aatrox in the jungle. We'll see where it goes. Most likely going to hint at that Udyr. We'll see. While on the side of Aware Gaming, they have that Shen and Tristana picking up. So XX Faxon gonna look to go towards that potential ultra late game where the hyper carry in Tristana is huge and can have that gigantic range advantage over Vayne and try to get the rapid fire. Are they gonna, no, they're not going to lock in the Heimerdinger. But
yeah, Faxon trolling so hard is like, well, am I XX Fiora Master 19? Not quite sure about that, but we do have the lock in there onto most likely a Gragas. I'm liking that pick a little bit more. And instead of Xin Zhao, it's going to be the Jarvan the fourth for Ghost Zero.
Yeah, so gonna have a solid amount of engage coming out from both the from the side of Aware Gaming. They have the explosive casting, the ultimate of Jarvan. They have the Cataclysm EQ combination for J4, and they have the ultimate global from Shen with the taunt possibilities with the flash. While on the side of Team Tempest, they're hovering over that Heimerdinger. It's never going to come to fruition. I wish it would, but it's just not. And they have the solid initiation coming in from that Bear Stance Udyr, just running in to stun you. They have the dive coming in from Aatrox. And then they have Condemn with Stranglethorn and Entangling Roots from Zyra to either engage or disengage.
All right, the big thing to watch out for here is going to be this final pick. It's kind of going to establish the way that they decide to break up these lanes. Keep in mind, we can see Aatrox and Udyr are kind of versatile, but about that AP carry lane, it's going to be going up against maybe not actually a Gragas. We've seen a lot of AD carry and supports start going mid, but actually wouldn't be the greatest idea against an Ahri who can wave clear pretty well. So we're just going to have to see how these lanes stack up, because already starting to get a little bit interesting, especially with Aatrox and Udyr coming out from Team Tempest.
Yeah, and it looks like when they do swap up everything, Aatrox is going to be going into that top lane. We're going to see a jungle Udyr coming out from Quir, while on the other side of the map we have Aware just having the standard lanes coming in, and nothing really looking too out of the ordinary. I've never really seen Shen go up against Aatrox before. I don't know.
Yeah, I was just going to say, it's going to be interesting because the way that Aatrox wants to play it, you want to go for Blade of the Ruined King as soon as possible. Either Blade or, I mean, you want yourself up all sustained, so you can also go for it, a Tiamat into a Ravenous Hydra if you really want to go for that. It's all about health sustain. It's a little bit more like an AD Irelia, and going up against Shen. Against the Shen, it's always a battle of like who gets that little bit of an edge, because Shen can sort of skyrocket into a super tank that you're never going to be able to damage, whereas if you get ahead as Aatrox, you're just going to be able to out-sustain, out-push him in lane. It makes your job a little bit more difficult.
Yeah, and when Aatrox can push you out and sustain heavily, it'll be pretty annoying to deal with, especially with that passive being able to bring him back to life with about a third of his HP, and then just being able to fly his way out of there with that Q ability. And I don't know where this game is gonna go though. Like, the humongous burst potential from Ahri and Gragas can equally one-shot their opposing AD carry.
Right, yeah, there's going to be some one-shotting here. Hamda definitely kind of taking a page out of the Scar book. He's been known to do his fair share of that. But the big thing to watch out for Aware Gaming this time around is not only the late game coming out from XX Facts and a little bit of a permanent substitute here for DKBnet, but he brings this Tristana to the table that has carried the salad bar, aka Aware Gaming, so far. You're going to see some early camps in mid lane by Ghost Zero and Hamda, and probably some extreme late game power from the pushing and the Tristana there from their lineup. But with Baby Zeus on his Ahri, Spiteful Spectre running that vein, they definitely have their late game for themselves as well. It'll just be interesting to see how they run this out. We're going to run into a quick commercial break, though. So when we come back, don't go anywhere. We got our last game of the evening here at MCS. It's going to be Aware Gaming taking on Team Tempest, looking for their first win of the season. So we'll see if they can bring that back coming up.
Yep, so be right back. Support our sponsors, iBuyPower, Fatality Gaming here, Razor Academy, Disable Ad Blocker, support the MCS stream, and also there is that tip jar that is linked into the chat if you do want to support the casters, you want to support the tournament, you can throw a little bit into the prize pool or towards the casters. Choice is all yours. We'll be right back after this commercial break, so sit tight, stay tuned.
And hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the final game of the night. It's the Mobafire Challenger Series. I am Rapid. With me is EG, AD, or Feed. We're bringing you all the action tonight. It's going to be the Salad Bar, aka Aware Gaming, and the blue going up against the still winless Team Tempest, still looking to bring things back. And with a very interesting lineup, it's going to be interesting to see, equally interesting, I should say, Anxiety Lull, top lane Aatrox going up against Hirshin's Shen, and a very strong, very typical lineup from Aware Gaming. Everybody who's studied their VODs knows exactly what they want to try to accomplish with this. We'll get into that as the game progresses, but as is, still looking to start things up, and a very interesting team comp nonetheless here for the guys on Team Tempest.
Yeah, they have the combination of decent engage with a good amount of disengage, the Stranglethorn, Charm, and Udyr can just keep spamming out that Bear Stance to try to stun everyone individually, as well as that Aatrox could look to go in, or could look to fly his way out of that fight if he wants to. But looks like we're finally going to get loaded into this game, and do you expect any kind of invade potential from either of these sides?
I think the biggest thing to watch out for is that the 2v1 lanes could actually have a pretty interesting effect. And I'm going to use the word interesting a lot because I want to go ahead and talk about it with some follow-up. But we are actually going to get into the game, so in case you guys are just now joining us, then welcome to the League of Pauses. That's what we've had more games than not this tonight. So this is going to give us a chance to talk about all those interesting things that I said earlier on. But we're going to go ahead and start things up and welcome you guys to the Rift. If you're just now joining us, then welcome to the last game in MCS for this evening. It's Aware Gaming in the blue, taking on Team Tempest in the red. You want to mention, once again, a shout out to our sponsors, iBuyPower, Razer Academy, Fatality Gaming Gear, and you can watch this all on twitch.tv. If you guys like the casting and the games tonight, drop us a tip at mcsesports.com/tips. But we're without further ado, we're into the game, and like I said, level 1 strategies could actually turn this around fairly quickly, because if you decide to 2v1, most likely the Aatrox lane, he's not going to be able to get a sustain up. He's going to be a little bit vulnerable, so we'll have to see if they decide to do that, because Shen works extremely well in 2v1s.
Yeah, an early ward coming out from the side of Team Tempest is going to drop down that ward on the entrance to their red. Going to be a 60-second ward coming out of that one. And the Jarvan standard going to be dropped as well. They're going to ping onto that. And now we have all of Aware Gaming looking to go in towards that red, as Spiteful Spectre going to send that bot brush towards his lane, and a ward is going to be dropped by eHamda to the entrance of the red on the side of Team Tempest, while Arcee Slash going to ward fairly deeply towards the red of Team Tempest. And now we see all of Aware Gaming looking to disengage and potentially just completely not invade or counteract with the red's deal.
When you look at the way that things are about to start up here for Team Tempest, they're just going back to lane. They're going to go with things completely standard. A little bit interesting to see Divasion all the way up there towards the top lane. Not quite sure where he wants to go just yet. Maybe looking for some latent wards to be placed down. Checking things out, we'll make his way down to the bottom half of the map, and we're going to see completely standard lanes across the board.
Yep, and now everybody's going to start fairly standard. We're going to have Quir going to go in for his blue buff, while Go Zero going to take his red, and we can potentially see a lot of aggression towards that top lane when both junglers have double buff.
Now keep in mind, this is going to be a Phoenix Udyr, so pots and then that's Hunter's Machete picked up instead of like a Doran's Blade like you'd see from a Tiger. As you can see, Anxiety checking out the blue buff, his opposing blue buff, revealing that, hey, he's going to actually face a little bit of a level 3 to 4 gank, like I mentioned, up top. Anxiety versus Hirshin here in the top lane. Already starting to get that bloodthirst out there for some sustain. It's going to be interesting to see how this lane progresses, because it's going to be all about that sustain. It's going to be regen for Hirshin, and then that bloodthirst for Anxiety. All going to be about how fast you can push that out, because keep in mind, Shen just regens for free. Anxiety needs minions, and that means he's going to be pushing that lane. Could make himself a little bit vulnerable to Go Zero.
Yeah, we saw in the bot lane, Descendant's did connect with that Divasion, but just not going to go in and just keep poking and prodding and waiting for their moment to shine, as now Divasion's Spiteful Spectre hitting that level 2 point. May look to go in for a little bit of harass. The root does connect. Spiteful Spectre does get the Contempt onto the wall. The Tumble doing a lot of damage. Exhaust forced out here. X-Faxon getting exhausted as well. One more auto attack. Divasion picking up that first blood. X-Faxon standing still there for a little bit. Does eat a bit of poke for his troubles. And first blood for the side of Team Tempest.
And you could just see the seconds before Division's last and final auto attack landed. Somewhat sickening. It's kind of like watching a train wreck, but it is also like watching First Blood, because that's what it was. Support picking that up means that a lot of extra ward coverage and a very fast Sightstone, possibly even a gold per 5 coming out. Or gold per 10 rather. Now KWR is up in the top lane, not able to get off a gank because, like I mentioned, Anxiety Loud pushing the lane actually pretty severely. We haven't actually seen any pressure from Ghost Zero there, although he did stop by mid lane for a little bit.
Yeah, and nothing really too big coming out of these junglers right now. Team Tempest is going to be satisfied with that first blood, and now we have an Anxiety Lull shoving up this top turret, looking to try to deny some CS away from Shen, with a nice little 8 CS lead for himself. In the mid lane, Baby Zeus harassing out Gragas just a little bit, but it is hard to harass Gragas as he does have that 2%, I think, health sustain whenever he uses an ability. We will see him just chuck away at the health potions as well, and try to sustain as much as Ari does in lane.
Yeah, no, it's only 14 HP right now, but it is going to be increasing as he does pick up maybe a Rod of Ages to come up next. Just help himself out in that HP department. Ghost Zero taking a triple on the wild side, actually going to be spotted out here by Anxiety Lull if he decides to dip down here for double golems. Just going to go for the Spite Steal on that. Maybe look for a dive as Hiroshina is actually able to push up the turret. Things go down there onto that top lane. Anxiety hasn't actually warded that river in a while, so he knows that something's up. I see a lot of Korean top laners play this way because they just know they're going to get ganked, so they just play really safe in anticipation of that. Bottom lane, a lot of damage between Spiteful Spectre and X6 Faxon, but the dive up in top lane, they get down onto Anxiety. The only problem is you can't dive Aatrox because he has a Rebirth passive.
Yep, and as well as a nice dive coming out in that Dark Flight, and they're gonna see Shen just keep pushing and pressuring. On top of that, you see the Vorpal Blade harass coming out from there, and we might see Quir to make his rounds up top after he does clear out those raids and possibly the golems. And the trades are going in favor of Hiroshina though. Both of them started with Doran's blades, and we saw Anxiety Lull go back and pick up a Doran's shield. They both started with Doran's shields, while Anxiety Lull went back to pick up a Doran's blade for himself.
Yeah, and the Doran's Blade, Doran's Shield combo is actually really, really strong, especially in top lane, because it's going to give you the sustain from both of their passes. And I really think that the big thing to notice right now is going to be the pressure of the junglers. Haven't seen that really turn things around, with the exception of a little bit of early pressure there in the top lane by Hiroshina, or by Ghost Zero, taking away that golem. Queer's going to clear that out, and you see the pressure not on the map, top lane or mid lane, and in the jungle, all three lanes backing to base right now. Big thing to watch out for, Ghost Zero coming down to bottom lane looking for a gank.
Yep, gonna come through that lane, that river, that ward, that brush is not warded. They're trying to bait this out right now. Flay backwards coming in, forcing the flash. Destiny connects at the end of the flash though. The barrier is gonna be forced out. The rocket jump coming in, Condemned is gonna go on the Ghost Zero. XX Faxon taking the kill with the courtesy of Ghost Zero and Arxie Slash on supporting.
How Arxie Slash got that death sentence off in the middle of all of those minions, I will never know. But a testament to him channeling his inner mad life, I suppose. Ghost Zero gonna dodge out onto Division. Forces the flash out there, flashing from Faxon. Tried to get down the dot, but it just was not enough. Division flashing out of there as fast as he possibly can. Gets away with just about 150 HP. Quir showing up there at just the right moment, and with the next wave of minions coming into this turret, could actually be the first turret of the game. KWR trying to make it there in time to defend, and will actually be able to push this wave off.
Okay, so KWR is his name. We'll learn that in the next pause. Thought it would be Quir, but guess not. And now we do have the pause coming in, and as it stands right now, just going to have everybody going back, picking up their early Doran's items, look to get some sustain, some extra health potions, some wards, and the spot lane hasn't gone back just yet. Let's see how much gold they're rocking, because Vayne did pick up a Vamp Scepter and a Longsword, while Tristana having 1,700 extra gold in her inventory, in her bank, going to look to possibly pick up a BS Sword, or go for the Blade of the Rune King route, as she could pick up a Bilgewater Cutlass early and boots. And
all right. Oh, sorry. I was thinking about the pause and how wonderful it is that we can all have this time to spend with one another. I mean, it is our last game of the night here at MCS Esports, so I'm thinking we want to end this with something special. So this seems just kind of taking a little bit of a break to discuss exactly how amazing they want to make this game. Apparently, Hiroshina's actually having a few little problems, so I want to make sure that we get everything straightened out with him. Does look like the game will respawn. will restart, and we're gonna have this games respawning. That's something I actually really want to see. But here Shen's back under control. And he's playing Shen, so not really the most micro-intensive of lanes. Going in there onto Anxiety. Anxiety, though, notably farther ahead in that lane. You can see Shen trying to tank things up. Anxiety definitely looking for the damages.
Yeah, Anxiety doing quite a bit of damage in response to what Shen has to offer, as well as sustaining with that passive. Gonna try to shove the wave out as fast as possible and just keep himself sustained. You see him auto-attacking into here, Shen, and trying to come out ahead, but Vorpal Blade with that feint ability in Shen is just proving to be too much, and he's out-sustaining him.
Yeah, when you look at the way that the jungle is working out, we haven't actually seen necessarily gank jungles, with the exception of that Ghost Zero gank down there in the bottom lane. But at least from KWR, he's mostly been about getting his farm up. And you see he's actually about 10 CS ahead of Ghost Zero, which makes a little bit more of a difference. But in the bottom lane, you see a Grasping Roots throw out there. Evasion, his flash is down. The auto attack's coming out hot and heavy. One more auto attack to pick up the kill. The death sentence lands, adding, well, death to injury, to insults, and that will be the kill to go down.
Yeah, that was a really good job, and he did pick up a BF sword for his first back, so now looking at a 2-0 Tristana currently, with that BF sword helping secure that kill for him, and showing the power of Thresh and Tristana. Tristana doing a really good job against Zyra right there, and forcing Silent Spectre back out of that lane, and XX Faxon is level 6, can try to pressure Spiteful Spectre a little bit, or look to take this turret down as fast as possible and try to deny as much farm away from Spiteful Spectre on that Vayne. And so we've seen Vayne be quite a dominating force in most of these games.
Now, I'm pretty sure you said Silent Spectre there, so if you guys watch
Spiteful.
competitive... Alright. Well, at least once. Maybe my inner Super Smash Brothers Melee fan is starting to come out here, but it is Spiteful Spectre down there on that Vayne. Looking to lose this turret here in just a second, as soon as XX Faxon and RC Slash can go ahead and push that in. Overall, across the lanes, Aware Gaming actually doing really well. You'll notice that their only death was down there in that bottom lane, and, well, with a 2-0 Tristana, definitely worth it in that category. First turret of the game, going to Aware.
Yep, with Aware having a 700 gold lead, it's not big, but it is something. Gonna have them be happy with that. And now the farm difference as well is going to be about 5 in the favor. While Baby Zeus going in onto Ihama, dropping that Ignite. You're gonna chase him with the dashes, explosive cast, gonna try to get him away. Ignite is not gonna pick up the kill, and Ihama will get away unless there is a response from KWR, as he is coming around from the side of the tower. Looking to go in, Bear Stance is activated, flashes, stuns, Phoenix Dance, red buff, pick up the kill. With the drive-by.
The drive-by. KWR definitely getting the job done there. It's kind of like you'd see Karthus ultimates kind of finish the job. Coming in there from the jungler for a nice little dive. KWR makes it happen. And that will be the second kill, tying things up there for Team Tempest. And they actually may take down a turret of their own. Ghost Zero is in hot pursuit. Looking to stop that from going down. We'll actually make it there in time.
Ooh. That Buster Shot's going to pick up the kill for Tristana, but she will end up falling. There is the passive coming out from Zyra, as there was a gank from KWR onto Ghost Zero down there. And we have the pursuit coming in for Spiteful Spectre, as he is chasing our RC Slash. Going to look to possibly take him down there. The Shed Ultimate's coming in. They might like to try to bait this one. She saw it coming and decided to tumble back away. Unfortunately,
just a second too fast.
Yeah. If he would have popped the ultimate a little bit later, he would have been able to surprise Spiteful Spectre quite a bit, but now Anxiety Lol is going to capitalize on that and take a turret as well as a nice CS lead.
Alright, and yeah, Anxiety pushing down that top lane turret, evening things up, kills turrets, and if you look at the gold count, about 1,000 in favor of Team Tempest. You can really just look at the gold advantage going to Tristana, but substantially won out in the rest of the lanes. 15 CS in the jungle, and about a, what is that, a 30 CS lead up there in the top lane transpiring.
Yep, and with that, he's going to look to possibly pick up his Blade of the Rune King fairly early. Going to try to farm that one up as fast as possible, as I think that's one of the niche items for him. There's a launch coming in off of the Death Sentence. Flay knocking that Divasion backwards on that Zyra. Going to flash to the wall, force that one away. There's the Standard going to spot him out. They are pinging. They do see Anxiety Low coming towards that mid lane, and we could see the side of Aware Gaming looking to go towards that Dragon, or Team Tempest going to try to 5-man that one out, as all their members are there. Charm not going to connect. Ihama going to go back in, missing the body slam. Wow.
He literally just missed every single spell that he had, so with the exception of his ultimate there, does set things up pretty nicely here for some nice dragon control over from Team Tempest. Now, keep in mind, Team Tempest are not a team without advantages. Bottom lane, it's going to be Spiteful Spectre getting the ulted back away. The jump back into XX Faxon, not quite able to pick up the kill.
Wow, he cannot pick it up through the barrier that came out from Spiteful Spectre, and even though XX Faxon had his own barrier, they just tore right through that one, and now we see the middle turret being pressured. as the side of Team Tempest are going to ignore going for Dragon and just save their teammates and save their tower. Oh, he's going back in, actually, with the body slam and the cast. The dive getting completely interrupted right there with the explosive cast. E-Honda does get ignited. The Spirit Rush does connect. Baby Zeus going to pick up that kill. Stranglethorn in response. Going to knock up Go Zero. Bear Stance going to slow and stun down Go Zero. Take him out. They go 2 for none, as well as now maybe looking to take the first Dragon of the game, or maybe take the mid-tier 1 while Shen is split pushing up top in it. Taking that tier 1 with Spiteful Spectre, taking tier 1 in the bot lane.
Alright, so across the board, a pretty strong power play there for Team Tempest. Actually won that entire fight without Vayne. Able to go down there, not actually going for the turret, realizes Dragon's up, and Team Tempest will disengage for that objective.
Yep, and that's going to be a nice control for them as they will get an even larger lead at this point. Seeing Xylo coming in, we might see the Death Sentence coming from Arxie Slash. Does connect to the evasion, they might try to take him out. Does not look like they will. Let him live. Throw Lantern Axis Faxon, let him come back to his loving embrace of Thresh, while the top tier 1 did go down and blue buff going to be given to Baby Zeus.
Alright, yeah, Baby Zeus, man, this guy's got some moves, so very impressive play, picking up the kill way downtown, making it 0-2 so far for E-Hamda, and traditionally, E-Hamda and Ghost Zero actually do a really good sort of tag team during the early phase of the game, as is it will be 4 men strong down there in the mid lane. Pick up the third turret of the game for Aware. So all outer turrets have been accounted for. E-Hamda almost finding out the unfortunate positioning there for KWR. It's going to go back to base and pick up his Spirit of the Ancient Golem, which is a pretty darn important item for Udyr. It's going to make him incredibly tanky, very cost efficient, and combined there with the Ninja Tab, this guy is very far ahead in his itemization.
Yeah, doing a really good job of that one. It's going to be a dominating force as opposed to Ghost Zero, with only the Ruby Gem, the Ruby Crystal, and the Spirit Stone. Would like to try to farm up his Spirit of the Ancient Golem just as fast as Udyr did, as Udyr does have 2 kills on him, so putting him leaps and bounds, not leaps and bounds, but a tidbit ahead of Ghost Zero.
I like that, a tidbit. Makes me think that I should like go make a cup of tea or something. I could totally use some tea right now, so if anybody just like wants to throw some tea my way, I'm completely down. Or some tips at mcsesports.com/tips. There's my little segue in there.
Nice segue.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Excited to get out of that top lane. Gonna look back to complete his Blade of the Ruined King, and with 1,000 gold in his inventory, that's definitely a possibility. Just gonna go back and actually go, straight for the Blade. We'll be completing that, and as soon as he gets that Blade of the Ruined King, that just means that Shen basically can't fight him, because he's either gonna need a Warden's Mail to counter out that attack speed, RC Slash, looking to go in with a Death Sentence.
Oh, but he's going to get counteracted by Go Zero right there. Explosive cast with the Ignite. The Cataclysm coming in. The Barrel predicting the Spirit Rush. Going to pick up that kill. Flash from RC Slash coming in with the box. Going to keep them trapped in there. KWR going to get slowed to all hell. XX Faxon going to jump back in on top of him, forcing the flash out. EQ does connect. Flay going to knock him back. KWR not long for this world. The Shen is even there. Going to help try to pick up the kill. Going to try to give it to anybody that can pick it up. Go Zero going to take that one. And they just went 3 for none with some really good positioning and really good play from RC Slash.
The plays and the flays, I might add. RC Slash with a nice Death Sentence over the wall into a perfect box. Udyr got slowed by 3 walls of the box, and that is a 99% renewing slow, so kind of rough to be an Udyr there, and you can see him just kind of kite it out there. Got the slow from XX Faxon, as well as the knockup from Ghost Zero. It's just a rough day to be the bear, so KWR getting taken down, even things up at 6-6, and even though that was a sizably won team fight in the mid lane for Aware Gaming, Spiteful Spectre was able to take down that turret in the bottom, so there's still only a 1 turret disadvantage for Team Tempest right now, and you can see even still in the gold, a 1,000 gold advantage.
Yeah, and that's not really as much as it could have been. If those 3 people did not die, they would have had a nice little lead, but a good play from Aware Gaming do keep them in this gold race. As you said, it's only about a 1,000 difference. Going to potentially have that one swing back and forth, as 1,000 gold can be easily acquired by either team in a matter of moments if a team fight does erupt. But we're going to look at a little bit of a lull in the action as everybody just farming up in the jungle, going to farm up the lanes and keep them pushed out.
This is the evolution of the meta. You're literally pink warding the middle lane to take out the ward coverage, just because knowing which side of the jungle your opponents are on is actually a really key piece of information. Also just kind of lets them know where they are, because hey, they have to pass through the lane to clear the minions. Even in the top lane, this is probably where we're going to see the next thing. Ultimate coming down by Anxiety, throws down the Blade of the Ruined King onto Hirshin, continues to get that auto attack on, not going in with a Dark Flight, so just going to throw down some pressure up top and push Hirshin out of lane for the second time.
Yep, and even with that Blade of the Ruined King and even with the Sunfire Cape, excuse me, completed on Hiroshi, that Blade of the Ruined King with the ultimate coming out from inside of the on that Aatrox proved to be too much. And now he went back to base, picked up tabbies and a dagger, so going for more attack speed in his build. Is he gonna go for a Zephyr or some crit?
I'd expect to see either a Zephyr or Wit's End start to come out. I mean, yeah, I'd love to see Wit's End, but to be honest, Zephyr actually makes a lot of sense. He's going to get the tenacity there as well. But if he's looking for some magic resistance against that Sunfire Cape and magic damage being dealt by Hirshin, actually not a bad option.
Yeah, but we see a full Spectre going to kite away phenomenally from that Go Zero, tumbles out of the Cataclysm, pops that final hour, just keeps dishing a lot of damage into Go Zero. They choose to completely disengage from this one on both sides of Aware and Team Tempest, so no one going to die, but a lot of ultimates being burnt.
And that's actually going to put a little bit of a pause timer, not the actual pause timer that we've seen quite a few times this game. At least onto the game, all the teams kind of backing out. Although it does look like Team Tempest taking this opportunity, push down that middle lane. Although it's going to be Honda responding for the counter.
Yep, and we will, let's see when Hamada does respond with the counter, and just seeing Hirshin getting pushed in, buying inside a little, shoving these waves out pretty fast at this point. Just looking to possibly ward up their side of the jungle, their blue side. And look at how many wards are dropped out right now by the side of Aware Gaming. They have 4 covering up top, covering up the lining the Baron, and 1 in the Tribush area for the top lane. And then there's only the 1 ward from the side of Team Tempest at the blue buff. So they will see when that does end up spawning, as well as 1 pink ward in the mid lane that you said they were contesting over, and now in Oracles for Division, gonna clear out a bunch of those wards.
Alright, so yeah, Team Tempest just needed an opportunity to go back to base, pick up some extra, wards and that oracles, and now they're going to be probably limiting out that ward coverage you're just responding to. The big deal though is that Shen is still being Shen. He's still able to stay on that top lane. Does have some pretty decent itemization, and what the Ruby Crystal is for is going to be a little bit interesting to find out here in the near future, because I'd love to see an Aegis of Legion, but probably we'll see that actually onto Ghost Zero. Dragon taken down almost immediately by Team Tempest. So I mean, when you look at Team Tempest, they are actually having a very strong performance here. Arxie Slash, almost getting cut out there by that. The Grasping Roots wouldn't have actually been that bad, because he could have countered that out there with some follow-up from Ihamda. This is Ihamda wants that blue buff, but it has been warded away there by Team Tempest. Good look to counter that out. Ihamda going in.
Whoa, actually going to go in from the back. KWR going to start that as he does get completely initiated on. Arxie Slash, though, getting taken further low, uses the Lantern to save himself, as well as put a shield to stop a bunch of that Ignite, as we do have XX Faxon taking the kill down on KWR. They will secure that one. Well, Ignatiolol, looking to come from the side right now, does get zoned away by Hirshin, and they will go 1 for none and lose their blue buff, unfortunately, to the Aatrox, unless Hirshin has a response to that one. He does not look like he does. Body slam over the wall, gets poked a little bit by Evasion, but it is nothing, and they lose the blue buff.
Yeah, but keep in mind, all that means, in the meantime, all that while, Spiteful Spectre pushing down the bottom lane, getting his CS up, about 10 CS lead, as well as putting some damage down on that secondary bottom turret. And it's tied up at, or it's almost tied up. 4-3 in turrets, 7-6 in kills. Ooh, Spiteful Spectre wins the mini golem war.
Yep, does seem to be taking away that big mini golem, that big golem for himself. Division having the oracles, dropping all the wards and the plants that his little heart desires, and going to have Spiteful Spectre look to go on XX Faxon right there. Does get a condemn into the side of the trees. Rocket jump coming out from Spiteful Spectre as a Flay gonna knock him back. The response coming though. There's a beautiful Death Sentence coming in. Flay isn't up. Buster shot picks up the kill. XX Faxon getting a lot of help from Arxie Slash, making the big plays there.
Yeah, the amount of time that Spiteful Spectre was not moving was actually a little bit ridiculous, because as you can see, Faxon didn't actually have to worry about how much HP he did or did not have. It just was like, well, the guy's just kind of standing there, so I mean, I guess I'll pick up the kill. So that will be the 6th kill of the game there for that Tristana. Not going back just yet. We'll be able to pick up that Infinity Edge, or the Phantom Dancer, to follow up with that Infinity Edge when she does return back to base. But we were talking about what on earth that dagger was for Anxiety. Does actually look like he will be going for the Zephyr coming up next, just to get a little bit of that tenacity.
Yeah, and double Zeal picked up for Spiteful Spectre. Gonna look to possibly go for a Static Shiv and a Phantom Dancer. We'll see where he goes with those Zeals. Maybe just sit on the wall game and go over Infinity's Edge. I don't know. You can build whatever you want on Invade, apparently.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of versatile builds. This is actually going to be the Korean build for Vayne. It's going to be a Phantom Dancer into Static Shiv, and it's basically at maximum attack speed and gives you a lot of move speed as well. And that's the big deal, because you're going to be able to kite away. There's no bruiser that's going to be able to catch you. You're going to have to rely on the Phantom Dancer to get you out of the Jarvan ult, so there's not a whole lot that Vayne's going to be too scared of right now.
Cataclysm going on the evasion right now. Explosive Gas going to knock him back. The Stranglethrower going to knock up Hirshin and go 0, while Exilal is in there, dishing out a ton of damage and pain with that ultimate. We do have KWR coming back in. Taunt going to go on to Exilal and KWR, with XX Faxon going to pop that Blood Will. And KWR going to eat a lot of damage. Ihamdo going to get taken down by Baby Zeus, who comes in the back. XX Faxon gets the rocket jump reset, has the red buff, going to try to kite. And it looks like Baby Zeus trying to take someone with him. He does. He takes down Arcty Slash, and they do go 4 for 3 in favor of Aware Gaming, and now sending Hirshin back to deal with that split-pushing Spiteful Spectre.
Yeah, I was gonna say, where's that Vayne? Yeah, just sitting down there in the bottom lane. This is kind of where Spiteful Spectre's been the entire game. A little bit of CLG strat. You send your AD carry to split push, winds up getting incredibly farmed. You can see about a 20 CS or about a 10 CS advantage there. The only difference is in kills. Tristana has been in these team fights, been picking up those kills. It's now 8-2 or 8-2 for Tristana versus only 1-2 for Vayne. So double zeals. I mean, will the Dunk Master dunk hard enough? We'll have to watch out, as Tristana actually able to take down the secondary turret in the top lane, making the turret difference 5-4.
Yeah, and Tristana has a 1,300 gold advantage over Vayne at this point, as well as a full Infinity's Edge, Phantom Dancer, and possibly looking to go for a Last Whisper as her next item. We will see what she does with that. And she's having a much bigger impact over the Double Zeal Blood of the Ruined King's Vayne at this point. Her crits are huge. She just picked up a pickaxe and a Negatron cloak, so trying to mitigate a little bit of this RA damage as well as a little bit of the Zyra damage.
Yeah, the big deal right now for Vayne is that she needs to complete that next item. And we do have Zephyr completed there for Anxiety, but he's building so offensively that he's not going to be lasting all that long in these next team fights, especially with his Blood Well. About 3 minutes until that comes back up, so to watch out for that one. The big deal, another thing to watch out for, is that the Jarvan ultimates have been absolutely king here for from Ghost Zero for Aware Gaming. And when they do go in there, it's not going to be something that, well, really anyone but Vayne there with that Phantom Dancer now complete can deal with. I mean, Ahri can ult out of that, and you know, if you're lucky, it's going to be Aatrox versus Ihamda up there in the top lane. The disengage is strong. Anxiety's still trying to get in there, but didn't use his Blade of the Ruined King, so unable to chase on after that.
Yep, Arcty Slash now having that Oracle's gonna get some help clearing out those wards from Ghost Zero, and having a pink on that Baron as well as a ward from the side of Team Tempest, going to try to keep them away from that, as red buff gonna go to Tristana. Baby's just pushing out this mid lane with Evasion, and yeah, just going to be a little farm fest as 2.1k advantage for the side of Team Tempest, and they're just waiting for Vayne to get big. She has one Phantom Dancer now, gonna look to possibly pick up that Static Shiv like you said before. And we'll see where it evolves from that point, as Vayne is still farming monstrously well. 224 CS and 216 CS for Tristana. We'll see how well their builds do matter at this point. You said a lot of movement speed on Vayne is going to help her kite, and we potentially could have a dive in this mid lane. The charm does connect, and they're going in with the DFG. The Shen's been coming out, but it's not fast enough, as Evasion will pick up the kill and go 0. They're trying to take down Arcty Slash next. Spiteful Spectre picks up that one. Eddie Honda gets completely melted there. Buster Shot comes out, but it's just not enough. XX Faxon gets taken down through his own barrier, and now there's going to be Inhibitor for the side of Aware Gaming. Wow. I mean, Team Tempest, excuse me.
Yeah, Team Tempest looking to close in on what could be their first win in MCS. Taking down the first Inhibitor is going to be absolutely huge. Talking about all these team fights that Aware Gaming have actually just been winning away, but all it takes is one. And after that, looking on towards the Baron, but a lot of wards to clear out in the meantime. The Evasion walking in the long way around does not see the ward coverage, which means the Aware will know that this Baron buff is under attack.
Yep, and my co-caster is apparently Robot Rapid, and now we are going to see Baron get taken down really fast. The Silver Bolt proc doing a lot of true damage to that with the help of Aatrox, dishing out a ton of damage. Hirshin gonna get caught out, lands a 3-man taunt, takes down Evasion though, does get knocked up, does get taken down by Vayne with the third hit of the Silver Bolts, and now will look to go back to base, spend their copious amounts of gold that they should have, and look to possibly push another Inhibitor lane. As across the board, Vayne has 2,400, 2,500 right now, 1,600 And 1,600 for Udyr and Aatrox, 2,000 for Ahri, and 2,000 for Zyra. So they're going to have some hefty buys.
Hefty buys. There's actually a player that we saw play a little bit early on named Hefty Schlump. So he's not in the game, but Schlumps are hefty. So are the buys. Gonna see a dragon go down here for the salad bar. I mean, you know, or I keep calling them the salad bar. It's actually to be Aware Gaming, taking that one out and bringing back some gold for themselves. Still about a 6,000 gold deficit, so definitely looking to bring things back. But the second Phantom Dancer picked up for Spiteful Spectre. It's a little bit of a new build. Haven't quite seen this one out here, but at 4, 2, and 4, really not doing all that bad.
No, I guess he's showing that it is working. He can kite as much as he wants, as well as have... I'm going to see how much attack speed he has right now at this point. Looks like 2.1, and is going to be attacking monstrously fast. They will notice that Dragon was taken by the side of Aware Gaming, and Ihamda might get caught out here. Flash jumping from the side of Anxiety. They're going to cleanse away the Ignite, though, but the entire team of Team Tempest is coming in from the back. There's the Charm going in to go 0. He Cataclysms away from that one, does get taken out by Baby Zeus. Another knockup going in onto Ihamda inside of that Chasm. Cataclysm picks up that kill. Taunt going onto KWR. Gonna try to chase down XX Faxon. That bear stance is huge. There is the rocket jump to disengage a little bit, but Hiroshин taking up as much damage as he possibly can with no avail. No one around to help him out, and the dude go 4 for none against the Baroned up Team Tempest.
Sweet lord, the engages. Team Tempest just cannot be stopped. Able to just run straight through the turret, looking on here to the Nexus, to the win. Their first win of MCS is nigh at hand. Taking things up here. We're actually going to take down both turret and the Death Sentence lands there by Arxie/Boxos down just to protect XX Faction, trying to keep them off of the Nexus. They just cannot get the kills in time.
Exile, even timing to get his passive pop, does get the last hit when he does respawn. And that is going to be the first win for the side of Team Tempest. As you just said before, they're going to be really happy with that one and look to possibly roll off of that momentum. And let's get out of this screen and get into the lobby to see everything else in a bigger view.
And that's going to do it for tonight here on the Mobafire Challenger Series. It's going to be a win taken there away at the end by, Aware Gaming looking good coming into that, but Team Tempest pick up their first win of MCS. So I do want to thank you guys for checking out the show. If you